Hello, I'm Jordan and you're not. And this is New Year's Eve. And we're going to take a look back at 2010. Okay, so now that we've looked back at 2010, I'd like to talk about the best movies of 2010. Well, these are movies that I think are the best. But so I'm not going to review movies like Inception or True Grit. Well, I've already done True Grit, but like other movies that people think are the best. No, these are movies that I consider to be the best. Why? Because I'm Jordan, and this is my review. So first, let's take a look back. Let's go back to February 14th, 2010, with Valentine's Day. Now, I thought this was a really good movie. It's very, it's a good romantic comedy. It has a lot of, just, good, actors and, people like Ashton Kutcher and Anne Hathaway and Jessica Biel and Jamie Foxx and George Lopez and Taylor Swift, Taylor Lautner. It hurts me to say. So just a bunch of different couples, we see their story and, their love and, how if they're going to break up or they're going to stay together or get married or just, a bunch of intertwining stories that, people falling in love on this special day of love, and just seemed, like a really good, romantic comedy. I hear they're going to do a sequel called New Year's Eve. I hope it's good. It better be good. But it probably can't top this because it's Valentine's Day. Next, we're going to go to Hot Tub Time Machine. Now, this movie was funny. It's like Back to the Future meets The Hangover. Like, these four friends all get into, go to this place called Kodiak Valley, and they get into a hot tub, and they go back in time to 1986 for this night where everything, bad kind of happened to them, so they kind of get one more chance to kind of make things right for their future. It's just, it's funny, just like it's mature, it's, it's R-rated, it's a lot of cussing, but it's really, it's funny. It's Hot Tub Time Machine. Just the title alone is pretty funny. Just say it, Hot Tub Time Machine. Sounds epic, doesn't it? It is. Now, let's go to From Paris with Love. Now, before I saw it, I thought it was just going to be just, but, when I saw it, it was really extremely action-packed. And John Travolta's character, Charlie Wax, was a badass. He was cool. He was like he just goes around shooting up all the bad guys and being cool like Jack Bauer on 24. Just really good, a really good action flick. You should check that out. Now, we'll go another action flick, The Expendables. So this has Sylvester Stallone and a bunch of other action stars like Bruce Willis, Dolph Lundgren, Jet Li, Jason Statham, just a bunch of action stars all, going to another country and, dealing with this, Kim Jong-il kind of character, really, but it's just, filled with action and explosions and death. It's almost like a Michael Bay movie. And I hear he's already talked about doing a sequel to it, so which will be okay. Next, we'll go to Date Night. So this movie is funny, it's hilarious, it's kind of romantic also. This, Steve Carell and Tina Fey are, they're awesome together. They're just like a boring, average, everyday couple. Then after just one night, they go from this boring couple to, like adrenaline junkie kind of. They have to run for their lives. Like they're running from dirty cops, and they have to, just really good, really good action comedy that you should really, check out if you like those kind of movies. Next, we'll go back to my childhood, which gets brought back up to date with Toy Story 3. So, when I was 5 years old, the original Toy Story came out. When I was 9, Toy Story 2 came out. And this year, 20, Toy Story 3 came out. and it's really good. I mean, it's just as good as the other two, and I actually cried a little toward the end. You can ask Megan and Matt about that. They saw me cry when I was there. It brings pretty much brings closure to the trilogy. I mean, they could still do a fourth one if they felt like it, but you know, Andy's getting older and going off to college, and Woody and Buzz and all them are kind of don't know what to do about it, and so the other toys kind of get stuck at a daycare center, and Woody tries to get him out of there because Flop the Hugging Bear is kind of like the Fred Phelps kind of guy of that place, and he's trying to get him out before Andy goes off to college. I guess since I don't have the movie yet because it hasn't been released yet, so I'll go ahead and talk about. I thought Saw 7 3D The Final Chapter, which I don't know, or just call it Saw the Final Chapter or Saw 7. I thought it was really good. It's not as good as the other ones, but it was maybe a little bit better than Saw 5. Anything's better than Saw 5. Saw 5 sucks. But it does bring closure to the Saw franchise. It explains a lot of unanswered questions but I thought Jigsaw, Tobin Bell should have had more screen time. He didn't have enough screen time in the last Saw movie. It was only like maybe 5 minutes at most. And so this doctor, Dr. Gordon's back, but that's not what I was trying to say. This Bobby Dagen's this writer who faked that he was in a jigsaw trap, and so he wasn't really, but Jigsaw does put him in a jigsaw trap. Yeah. Next, we'll go to The Losers. Now, The Losers is very similar to The A-Team, which is another movie I really like, but I wouldn't really consider it to be one of my favorites. It seemed like The Losers had a little bit more action than the A-Team movie did, and Chris Evans, his character was was pretty funny. It kind of reminded me of Murdoch, and it's just a bunch of action and explosions, and just kind of like these this group get framed, and they have to prove their innocence, and this guy named Max is after him. Okay, so now we'll come to the final movie of the best of 2010. It's a very heartfelt movie. It's so strong and so powerful and so emotional. It's about a woman who falls in love with a vampire. Yes, I am of course talking about Vampires Suck! Yeah, but seriously, I really do enjoy spoofs, and at the time I didn't like Twilight. And when I heard about Vampire Suck, I had an orgasm. I was like, oh, I can't wait to see it. And I really did enjoy it. I loved it. And it puts Twilight in its place. And another thing I loved is that they played If I Was Your Vampire by Marilyn Manson at the very end of the movie, which was the icing on the cake for me. Because just everything about Vampire Suck is just really funny, and if you hate Twilight or if you love Twilight, you'll probably like it. And it spoofs of very few other things like True Blood and just other Buffy and Alice in Wonderland, which has nothing to do with Twilight. Okay, so those are my favorite movies of 2010. Can't wait to see what 2011 brings.